Hi guys, welcome to Bubble Tea Tarot. Today's reading is what messages does Spirit have for you today? Messages from Spirit. We have piles 1, 2, 3, Rose Quartz. I think this is Blue Calcite and Clear Quartz. And the little stickers up here say, know your worth, yeet or be yeeted, and you're doing great. This is the Happy Tarot deck, this is the traditional Rider-Waite, and this is the Dragon Tarot. So pause now to pick your pile. And while you're picking, just know that this is a general reading. I'm just using my intuition while I read, and it's like an opportunity to do a little bit of brainstorm and storytelling, a little bit of tidbits of advice. You can take it or leave it, depending on if it resonates or not. Obviously, go by your own judgment at the end of the day. This is just for fun and entertainment purposes, but sometimes it's fun to see what synchronicities pop through too. So we're gonna get started with pile 1. Ooh, cool. Very cool. All right, pile 1. So let me bring this closer to you so you can see it better. After the camera shakes a bunch. Okay, so you have the Empress, the 8 of Swords, the Moon, the Chariot, and the 6 of Swords reversed. So I'm getting that you're a very abundant person, or the person that you're asking about that's on your mind. Well, I guess this could be about you or a person that's been very, very recently on your mind, but I'm gonna say you for the course of the reading, but just so you know, like if you're asking about a certain person, then that might be that person, but I don't know who you're asking about. I don't know like what brought you here, so that's up to you. I'm seeing that you're very poised, self-sufficient. Maybe you've been doing a lot of self-love or like self-care routines lately, or sort of revamped the way you take care of yourself, whether it's giving yourself more routine or talking yourself into allowing yourself to have more freedom and saying, actually, it's okay for me to try that new outfit that I didn't think I could ever pull off before. Yeah, I'm seeing just a lot of like self-love, freedom. Maybe some of you are single and you're really kind of embracing it and you're not trying so hard. You're not doing the really try hard to enjoy being single type of thing. You're really just basking in it. But I'm also seeing deep down there's some indecision. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so in this path of self-love and self-care and creating a new routine for yourself, your old thoughts and old beliefs that no longer serve you are being reviewed and revaluated. I don't know if that's the word, but you know what I mean. And you're gonna have to dig deep and let those thoughts pass through, acknowledge them. Maybe you don't have to always identify with all the thoughts that you have. You don't have to believe all the thoughts that you have. I've been reading a book by a guy called Jim Kwik, Kwik. I think it's called Limitless or Unlimited. It's like Limitless or Unlimited or something. It's on Amazon. And one of my favorite quotes from this book so far, I've not yet finished it, is a adult's external words become a child's internal words. And they sort of become the roles or like the limitations or the lifestyle that you get cast into by your environment as a child, whatever that may be. And they're not always true. Sometimes they're uplifting and beneficial, and sometimes they're not. And sometimes they seem like they are and they're not. Like if you're really, really the smart kid and then you go to college and then you get average grades, that whole identity that you had for yourself that you relied on, that was your sense of security in the world, that was your identity in the world, it sort of has to dissolve. So it's kind of like what Ram Dass talks about, becoming nobody. You have to become somebody to become nobody, because then somebody has to dissolve first, and then you can really get to know yourself. Moon card, deep dive, emotions. And I think as the clarity comes from here, from deep diving in the emotions and going inward, inquiring from within, you'll see that all the limitations that you have are actually beliefs that you just keep thinking. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking. And then we go back to self-care. So that'll be a way to self-care. And when we deep dive in here, let's have love and compassion and forgiveness for people who didn't know any better. A lot of times, things in life are caused by, we suffer from our own ignorance. We suffer from the lack of understanding and wanting others to be different, from wanting others, externalizing value, externalizing external conditions, and putting value on those external conditions as though they need to be different for us to be happy. But if that were true, we'd all be at the mercy of each other's bad moods all the time. So that obviously cannot be the way of the universe. So that's not how it works. That is part of the human condition. It is part of the human experience in a physical body here on Earth. But it doesn't have to be your experience today or tomorrow. It is a part of like growing on a learning curve in anybody's lifetime, but like once you wake up from it and you can see the limitations that are really more of an illusion, you don't have to be at the mercy of them anymore. You don't have to live in those limitations anymore. And that'll glow up in the self-love. Chariot card, speed, forward, change, progression. Yeah, I think this is having more determination and having your own willpower. And once you go through these steps, these always kind of connect, the steps between here and here. Yeah, and the deep dive here, the deep dive to the moon card will dissolve that sort of check-in essence of the Eight of Swords, feeling paralyzed to make a decision or feeling really stuck in an old role that no longer suits you. You know, so many people, I think, make it through their 20s or their 30s, maybe even their 40s, and somewhere deep down they still feel like they are this 10-year-old that, so to speak, that was told they're no good at this or that. And that's not true. It's obviously not true. I mean, they're obviously not a 10-year-old anymore, so why wouldn't their creative capacities or their intellectual capacities or their demonstrative capacities to be of beneficial presence and of joy or humor and comedy or creativeness onto the world, why wouldn't that be different also? So we don't have to keep ourselves stuck in old roles or a set of old adjectives that somebody else used to use to describe us. You know, if we identify, like if we let everybody's reactions to us become our identities, like that'd be crazy. So just because somebody responds to you that way and says you're this or that, that's not gonna always be true. Like, you know, that could just be their bad mood for the day or their perception of what they're able to perceive at that point in their life. And that doesn't mean that that's true for you. So yeah, you're really taking a lot of power back. You're really coming into your power and really breathing into your pelvic floor and your solar plexus and your sacral chakra through the inner work of these two. The inner work of this, kind of dissolving the trap of the Eight of Swords. Yeah, so you really need to care about how you feel. So even if it's an old story that you've been telling yourself over and over again, just because it's what happened doesn't mean we need to think about it all the time. Like, I know it's good to review facts and review, you know, you gotta have an acknowledgement of something that's occurred, but if you keep replaying it over and over in your head, you invite that. You say encore to the universe. Is that, you know, like Shakespeare, all the world's a play, all the world's a stage, and we are merely players. Oh my God, that rings truer and truer for me personally in my life, more and more. And I think there's an affirmation card in one of my oracle decks that says, you know, if you pretend your whole life is a theater and you say encore, encore, or boo, you're still putting focus on whatever it is you have your attention on, whether you're booing it or you're applauding it. So if you're thinking about somebody who's causing you some grief and you say, oh, I really don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen anymore. I don't want this to happen anymore. I don't want them to be like this. I don't want to feel this way around them. Like, our minds don't understand negative. So if I say, don't picture an elephant, you just pictured an elephant, right? So our brain just don't understand negative. So you start where you are and start where you're naturally going to start and think, okay, well, I don't want them to do this. What's the alternative? I would like to feel less tense around them. I would like to feel clear-headed when I go into work. I would like to feel happy and easy. And if that's too much of a jump to start with, I would like to not feel tense. I would like to feel relaxed. I would like to feel clear-headed. I would like to feel more often clear-headed and relaxed. I would like to less often feel tense. I would like to more often feel happy. And you can work it up through a little bit of a scale like that, right? And go to the next nearest hop that's achievable and feels believable to you. So you gotta care about how you feel. You feel so much because you are so much. So how you feel really does matter. So I want some clarification on this. So I'm gonna pull I guess I want some clarification on the last three in the row. Ooh, hello, friends. Ooh, okay, very good. Let me scooch this. The Four of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Queen of Cups, Ace of Swords. Interesting. All right, guys, give me a minute because I gotta read it. I gotta meditate into them. Okay, so, I'm getting as you let go a little bit and you don't have such a control or resistant to change type of mindset, you breathe into your heart space and open up a little bit. It'll give way for more new ideas and for if you breathe into your heart space and open up, it'll give way to more inspired ideas, a fuller heart space, and inspired action and inspired ideas. And then like your mental landscape will be a friendlier place to live in when it's not stuck in here. And the emotions will be more content, clearer, more mature, and less of a murky mystery. I mean, a good mystery, moon card, I love the moon card, but it won't be so foreign anymore. They won't be stones that you have to turn over to double check anymore. All right, do we have anything else for group one? The Fool card. Okay. Okay, so I think immaturity will play a role in not moving on, but sometimes you got to give yourself a little bit of tough love and ask yourself, do I want to keep feeling like this? So then if not, what could be different? Yeah, I think you have an opportunity to start growing and start changing. You just got to start being a little bit more mindful about your breath work and caring about how you feel every day. Not feeling... You have to be more mature to be able to let go of the old roles that you were cast into by the adults or the peers of your life early on, and know that those limitations aren't true. And that will help you in your what do I want to say? In your material accruement, like career, wealth, but it'll also be that your path for meeting your material needs will be happier thereby. As you go through a death of all those old rhetorics that aren't true about you. And you can forgive those people too. You gotta forgive those people. You can't, like, you know, they didn't know what they didn't know, and you could stay angry about it, wishing that they had been better or been different than what they were able to show up as that day. Or you can not be mature, be mature, and rise above it. Stop hoarding and clinging to repeating that rhetoric. Yeah, it's resisting change. Magician. Yeah, you could be the creator of your own reality. This is how you will be the creator of your own reality. It's by looking forward. Stop repeating the old stories. Sometimes old memories come up because they're revealing themselves at the surface of our consciousnesses to be healed. They're revealing themselves saying, hey, I think it's time to heal this, or I think it's time to acknowledge the pain here a little bit. Maybe have a hot minute cry by yourself type of deal, but it's not where we want to stay. Think of it as rungs on a ladder. Ultimately, you want to climb the ladder. You don't want to just hang out on the ladder forever. Finding mental strength, coming out of isolation, slow recovery from perhaps more of a mental type of breakdown, or I want to say, it's not necessarily a breakdown, but sort of like a mental health like overflow, where like maybe things felt overwhelming all of a sudden and you had to start dealing with it. Yeah, okay, can we get like 1 to 3 final cards for group 1? Oh my god, these just all popped out. King of Swords. 3 of Pentacles. I think as your headspace gets clearer and more and matures, and your cognitive mental landscape matures, as you let go of old beliefs and you're able to move forward and be mature, your mental clarity is enhanced, and then there's more flow and more harmony in your life, and you're even able to get you'll be more receptive to feedback and more learning opportunities this way. And the defensiveness from here and here won't get in your way anymore. And you'll be more open to change and growth. Good things coming. All right, guys, that's it for group 1. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope it resonates. I try to keep them short, simple, a little bit vague. I've got a lot of Pisces, Aquarius, and Aries and Scorpio in my chart, so this is how I like to do readings, because I imagine maybe you're just deep breathing and meditating while you listen, and that's how I like to do them. So we're on to group 2. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you picked the Blue Calcite and the Classic Rider-Waite Tarot, or the Yeet or Be Yeeted sticker, this is your reading. Oh, funny, the last... Oh, no. So actually, I think 6 cards wanted to come out for this group, so we have 6 cards. Group 1, there's only 5. Alright, group 2. I'm feeling like this is an emotional social context. So I'm getting that generally. Now I'm going to say you, and it doesn't have to exactly be you. But just so you know, as I'm reading and I'm picking up on a particular, I guess, individual or individuals, but I'll say you to make it simple. You're very well off and content, and your life is pretty much full. It was happy days, right? Maybe with like a really fluid or like quick rhythm in a social group, like you guys spent a lot of time together, and then something happened, like a falling out, or maybe like somebody in the friend group broke up and like it made things awkward or something. Yeah, I guess I think you're feeling like a little bit lonely because like something with the social situation has changed, or like your friend group. Maybe it's a family, a group, like a family together. So I guess you're kind of feeling like, I think a part of you at the surface, you're kind of pretending to be like, okay, whatever, like, it doesn't bother me that much, but it does. But you also know that other people have their own free will, and you can't force harmony, so that's why that's not even a path, it's not even an option. You can't fake or force harmony. But yeah, it seems like a family's fighting, or like a really close friend group is having a little bit of a tiff right now, and it's not so fun. And like, I know Pentacles usually talks about material wealth, but especially if this is like more of like a friend social group, maybe somebody loaned money or whatever, y'all are like fighting over money, but I don't think that's it. I think it's like the Pentacles here, I think it's more representing feeling wealthy through your friendships, like feeling an abundance of good times together. And now that it's stopped a bit, it's kind of, it seems, I guess, I don't know, maybe it feels more comfortable not to care on the surface because you just don't know what you would even do to try to fix it. But it's, or maybe you really, for some of you, maybe you really don't care. For some of you, or it was kind of sad, but some of you might be a little bit detached from it, or like good at being objective, so such that you're like, yeah, actually it's like probably good for me to have my, oh, you know what, yeah, with the King of Cups, I'm thinking it was sad. And for some of you, you might still be, if it's especially like new and raw, you might still be in that tender phase of feeling a friendship wane out, or the rhythm of it slow down, and you might feel concerned about losing the friendship. But just know that you're never alone unto the universe, and that other person's not the source of your well-being. And I know some people make fun of this quote, but I really believe it's better to have loved than lost, to have never loved at all. So it's okay. And with the Three of Cups reversed, I think maybe y'all were like a little codependent. Y'all were like maybe wanted to be with each other all the time, and then like that's like fun. That's like cool to have a friend that you want to spend that much time with, but there's only so much we can really do when we're together all the time. And sometimes when you're with somebody all the time, your best harmony is your relationship with self, your relationship with source through you. What's harmony from your individual unique perspective onto the universe. That's why we come into physical individual bodies from non-physical and from spirit. So sometimes when you spend a lot of time with somebody else, you kind of become a little bit glommy and meshed and codependent with your energies, and then almost it's like if you lose track of tuning into yourself, harmony then kind of becomes making each other happy, and that's actually going to be destructive in the end. So I'm really liking the King of Cups here, because this is showing me somebody who's self-proficient emotionally, somebody who fills and drinks from their own cup. And that's, I would say, tuning into your own source, tuning into your own spirit, knowing yourself. I saw a meme on Instagram, or like an inspirational quote, and it was like, most people don't even know themselves. Like, you really want to care about what somebody else thinks about you? Especially, I mean, that's easy to understand when it's critical or bad news or something like that. But when somebody cheers us on, or is on our side, or is our friend, it's easier to get sort of seduced by that and want that all the time. And I mean, socializing and community and family and friends are so important, but the quality of them is only as good as the quality of the individuals that comprise the whole, you know? If you have to have quality parts, each individual gear or component in a larger machine, for the whole machine to be able to sustain a payload or a workload and run efficiently. You know, it's got to be like good quality components. So individuals are the same. Yeah, I'm feeling like this is gonna actually help you become more compassionate and diplomatic with how you resolve conflict going through this, because you really do love this family group or this friend group, or maybe your friends are your family. You do love from the bottom of your heart. It's all sincere. It's not these are not relationship, well, yeah, I would say these are not relationships of like someone's trying to like get something for you. Maybe part of the tiff was like, maybe there was like a rat amongst the bunnies type of thing, and they got outed, or like you could see somebody's true intentions. I don't know what the fight was about, or like the feudy thing it was about. I'm not going to focus on that too much, but I think the takeaway from whatever tiff going on is you've learned how and you're learning how to fill from your own cup, fill and drink from your own cup, stay calm through contention and contentious conversations with those you care about, and being compassionate and being present whilst having boundaries, because this is saying like too much togetherness. Yeah, being emotionally mature as you go through the Five of Cups energy of like feeling, oh, woe is me, but actually, you know, it's not all is lost. Okay, let me not all is lost. And sometimes maybe, you know, I think that the detached, a little zoomed out view of the Hanged Man, not to be apathetic, but to be objective, is really good. This just popped out. Ace of Cups. A lot of emotions here. A lot of feelings. Yeah, friendships. Maybe the same friendships and same relationships are going through a rebirth in a healing. I think there's a chance for better relationships here. I also think it's about going through the deep dive, the hardship here to get here, and it's also about zooming out a little bit, maybe being a little bit more detached and not taking it as personally, such that your value doesn't come from other people. It's like I was saying, drink and fill from your own cup. You can be a little bit zoomed out, detached. Again, not apathetic, you know, like, oh, whatever, like, doesn't matter. Like, of course it matters. One of my favorite Ram Dass quotes is, the greatest paradox of all is once you give it up, you can have it all. And I think that's what's going on here. Yeah, it's will be harmony, an abundance of connectivity, and I'll say I think an abundance of connectivity, because the more you connect to yourself, the more available you'll be to other people, and then the more you'll know whether or not you're gonna be you're gonna be able to be emotionally and mentally available for other people that day or not, and you can learn how to say no too. No more codependency or glomminess as a default setting for all of your social relationships and interactions. Fill and drink from your own cup. Hella big, man. Okay. I'm gonna give you the Hermit. Yeah, it's time to spend some time by yourself. Do some self-love, self-care. Play some video games by yourself, or just spend the night in. Do some solo activities. Look in the mirror and say some nice things to yourself. It's time to spend time by yourself and teach or reteach and show yourself once more in your life that you can have fun by yourself, and how much fun you can have by yourself, and that it doesn't have to come from other people. So when, you know, there's a fight or something breaks out, or like a little tiff in the social group, it doesn't unroot you so much, you know? Fill and drink from your own cups. Spend time by yourself for a while. Make a date. Make a date night for yourself. Pick a movie that you really want to watch and set up a cozy setup for yourself in your bedroom or on your couch, and wine and dine yourself, you know? Imagine that you're your own date, and how would you pamper somebody that you love, and do that for yourself. It's time to spend some time alone and get back to yourself. So this has been the Yeet or Be Yeeted Group 2 reading. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. This is my first pick a pile on my channel. This is Bubble Tea Tarot. Again, this is a general reading. Use it to have fun. And we're on to Group 3. Hi, Group 3. You're doing great. I'm doing great. This is your reading. Any messages from Spirit for you today? Interesting. So I know that this came out first when I did the preset originally, but now it's coming out in this order. I have not done this with the other groups, but because I want to make sure I'm doing this in the right order, I'm going to close my eyes and just flip it around, and then whatever happens, happens. Okay, so there we go. Oh boy. Oh. Okay. This might be for just a few of you. Maybe it was you or somebody you're very close with that you're asking about. I'm gonna say you for the entirety of the reading. If you've come to this reading asking about somebody else in your life, then know that the you would be them, if that's what you're here for. But if you're here for yourself, when I say you, then take it if it resonates. For very few of you, maybe a wedding was called off, or like a promise. And when I say like wedding, it could also be like a promise or like a big commitment type of thing, like a move, or you're gonna move into a house with a bunch of new roommates or whatever that you like knew from college or something like that. I'm seeing something got called off, or like there was some indecision. Hold on, I guess a second, guys. Okay, I'm getting something that like seemed like it was gonna be like this big happy thing. Got called off, delayed. But I think it's a good thing. I think this is a catapult into deeper growth. I'm kind of getting that the Ten of Cups initially was something superficial, but I kind of want to get some clarifiers. I would like some clarifiers for Ten of Cups, Four of Wands, and the Tower, please. The nature, I guess I want to clarify for the nature of the Ten of Cups in relationship to the Four of Wands, please. Yeah, I think that hello. The Devil, the Six of Wands, the 10 of coins, or 10 of pentacles, and the hanging dragon, the hanged man. Oh, hello. Hello, friend. So I'm thinking the happiness here was a little bit of a facade or surface level, and it's not that it wasn't real, like it really happened. You really were feeling all of those things. I guess the depth of it wasn't gonna run through the whole time. Like there's so much more fruit that this can bear as you go through the tower. I'm seeing you're resisting some change. Oh, maybe for some of you, this was like a way of living. Maybe this wasn't necessarily like a literal commitment, like new roommates, moving, new job, or wedding. Maybe it was more of like a life rhythm, a lifestyle. That wasn't really going to feed your soul long term. Like you would end up plateauing, and it really wasn't going to be the best thing for you, for your long-term growth. So I know it might feel like a huge upheaval right now, but that's only if you resist it, and that's only if you like I don't know, try to cling to the quote-unquote better days. If you get all nostalgic, like, oh, those are the days, like, yeah, that's gonna make you feel worse. That's gonna make this feel a lot worse. You can note, like, I'm so lucky I had that time in my life that was so happy, and I got to experience that as a reference point now for the rest of my life. But like, there's something to be said about trying to cling to happiness versus kissing happiness as it flies. Though I can't remember the quote, but it's like, he who kisses joy as it flies always has it. He who tries to, put the fireflies in a jar, well, the fireflies die. So you gotta keep moving forward with the rhythms. I think as you go through this death, reviewing old habits and vices and not resist it so much, and as you kind of pick a lane, buddy, like you pick a lane and you really start to dive deep, you'll feel more self-fulfilled, and you'll feel more self-fulfilled and self-empowered, and it'll be from your own source, and it'll be a true, and you'll be tapped in, tuned in, turned on to the infinite well that you always have access to. We all do. It's just we get distracted because that's kind of the point of being in a physical body, which is to experience variety. Then I'm also seeing, and for those of you who are resonating with like a social thing, like moving in with new roommates, or a love commitment, or maybe like your family group growing and harmonizing. Maybe your friends are your family, or it's a nuclear family. As you feel more self-empowered, group 2 kind of had something similar, where as you as an individual are more empowered, your beneficial presence to the group and your environment and those around you is strengthened, and so your family bonds, your family environment is enhanced thereafter. And this will also, I think this also talks about material needs being met, material harmony and flow being enhanced as your spirituality, as your individual harmony with spirit is sustained and demonstrated through your presence of being. So yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty here. Yeah, okay. So I think maybe you lived sort of like a cookie cutter life in a sense, or you felt safe in your last situation. I'm sorry, I don't mean to call your life cookie cutter, but like maybe you just like felt really safe in like your old rhythm. I'm getting kind of like Taurus energy, like really loves the routine, does not love change. Kind of Cancerian, super duper cozy homebody type of energy. But so much growth is just outside of our comfort zone. And oh my God, you are worth it. You are so worth the promises and the treasures that growth and taking a little bit of a peek outside your comfort zone promises you. Ooh, yeah, so you gotta just be a little bit brave. Don't bite off more than you can chew, but talk yourself into believing that you'll know the right decision when it's time. I'm also, sometimes, one of my favorite quotes, Khalil Gibran, rest in reason, move in passion. When the idea is inspired and flows through you, you move in passion. Rest in reason. So sometimes it might not be the right idea or the right time just yet to make make the next move, or to send that text or make that phone call. And if it feels like work to do it, pause, because there's no peace there. Rest in reason, move in passion. You don't have to make any decisions just yet, until you're certain, until you're clear. Can we, where's my deck? Oh, here it is. Can we get some closing cards for pile 3, please? Some closing points, closing takeaways, just like 1 to 3 cards, closing points. Summarize, takeaways, highlights, focal points, primary focal points, pros about it, maybe some strength. What are some cards that we can use for some messages of strength and self-assurance, or kind of clear up the 2 of Swords or the hanging dragon, or especially the Tower and the Devil card? Can we talk about the best way to pivot focus? Well, hello. The Ace of Swords and the King of Pentacles. Breakthroughs. All right. I think this is saying to me that my cards can't tell this for you, but you're going to have your own aha moment soon to come. And yeah, you don't know what you don't know yet, and that's part of the promise of eternal expansion into the universe. What a beautiful thing. Maybe you have to have a hard, I think this is kind of what it's saying, is maybe you have to have a hard day for that aha moment to come. And it doesn't have to be like a real like life-shattering thing. Maybe you spend one day being in such a bad mood, you're like, aha. I really don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I'm not getting a clear vibe on that King of Pentacles. So can you clarify the King of Pentacles, please? Can you clarify the King of Pentacles, please? Seven of Coins, 4 of Coins. Okay. Oh. Okay, yeah. So stay committed to your dreams. Like, appreciate the fruits of your labor. Like, start like saying thank you to yourself too, and all the resources and tools that you have around you to help make it possible, whatever those may be. Just take a pause and say like, oh, I have 1, 2, and 3 or X, Y, and Z resources available to me, and I can utilize them to help reach my goals. Say thank you and appreciative, and be, you know, really express appreciation for them, and know that it's all part of bringing your dreams to fruition and your hard work paying off. And as you like get a little bit more lighthearted about it, you won't be like hoardy obsessive about material accruement if you really enjoy the journey. Cheesy, but hey. Yeah, and you gotta shed some old habits of being maybe very identified with wealth, or thinking that's the whole end game. Like, you don't have to always focus on the end. If you're a Neville Goddard person, you have to live in the end, but that's different. We're obviously not talking about that right now. Yeah, be joyful in the moment. Maybe like when you're at CVS checkout and they ask you to round up, click yes. Round up to donate to the thing. Yeah, okay. Feeling some indecision. Hard to let go. Yeah, I think you were trying. Okay, so back to the first few cards. I think you were like living in a way that was sort of mechanical. Like, you thought it was like all bright and shiny, and then something didn't totally feel right. And then the tower, you had a tower moment where the original plan that seemed good on paper was obviously not right with spirit, and it's just not flowing. So yeah, I'm getting that from the King of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. It's just like living sort of mechanically and very focused on the material is not, it's not a path to happiness right now. It's good to keep those ducks in order and those ducks in a row, but that's not like a quality, like a source of quality. It's spirit. Okay. Can we? Oh, hello. 8 of Coins and the Hierophant. Yeah, I'm thinking some self-study or self-help books, or some meditation, or if you go to counseling or therapy. It's more that inquire from within energy. If you deep dive, I'm feeling like a very like business person energy here. Like, you're usually super logical, or the person that you're asking about is, but it kind of like they don't always have like their eyes open to spirit, and spirit is, and money is just manifested spirit. So if you think it really exists in only the physical, you're looking at a dead world, or a spirit that's already formed. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, okay, so I'm thinking maybe you're gonna get more self-sufficient in the way that you work and your life rhythms, and you're gonna be, maybe you're gonna go into a practice where maybe you don't make as much money as before, or like you don't try to hammer it out, you don't try to force through action anymore. You're gonna be more focused on the task day in and day out, and enjoy the work throughout the day. You'll enjoy the little moments more through your work. Like, you'll still be physically focused, but I think there'll be more spirit flowing through you, as opposed to just kind of doing it mechanically and making it look good on paper. Maybe some of you are in, or the person that you're asking about is involved with religion, or like you need to, like, you feel the need to like make it. Oh, okay, maybe this is also somebody who, like, they feel like their sense of self or reputation really is tied to their career, which is good to have a career that you like take pride in, don't get me wrong, but it's not really the source of like our well-being or our like our value as people or as individuals. But it is really meaningful and beautiful to have a practice, a career, a vocation that you feel love and, I don't want to say pride like in an arrogant way, but like pride, or you have a healthy self-esteem about, you got healthy esteem about what you do, that's consistent in integrity and mutual benefit, you and whatever clients. Maybe you're going through a career change. Or just a sort of mindset change about the way that you do your work, the rhythm that you set for your work, too. Sorry guys, I know that this kind of started off me thinking that this was a romantic one, but I'm thinking this is more of like a practical, everyday type of introspective work style one. Okay, so let me see if they have anything else to add. Any messages from Spirit to clarify what's been said already? Can we get like a takeaway card, like a Five of Wands. Ooh. I'm getting like internal conflict, or you're having an argument with somebody in your head. Somebody you kind of have, like, you kind of feel like you want to have the last word with. That's gonna hold you back a smidge. Yeah, I'm getting like you're kind of like fired up about something right now. This just popped out. Fool. Yeah, I guess feeling irritated. Why are you feeling so irritated? This popped out again. King of Swords. Yeah, honestly, maybe sometimes just letting yourself feel through all the emotions where you're feeling kind of agita is is one way to get to know how you feel. One of my favorite Alan Watts quotes is, muddied water can only clear up by not messing with it anymore. Like the muddy water will only settle when you stop kicking around, when you stop kicking around the water. So Abraham Hicks, I love that stuff. If you listen to that stuff, maybe the best thing to do right now is to get off the subject. Go focus on something that makes you happy, and go do things that make you happy, and get into a good mood before you try to think about this again. I think this is a good place to stop the reading for group 3. Yeah, this was group 3. All right, so I don't know. I think sometimes the readings with my dragon deck get pretty intense because of the nature of the dragons. And the happy tarot is always like, I don't know. I feel like that the moods of the reading kind of match my decks. So this is my first ever pick a card reading here at Bubble Tea Tarot. If you guys liked it, have any suggestions for further topics, or have any suggestions for the way that I read, like I'm open to feedback. I'm not afraid of some feedback. Let me know in the comment sections below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.